Okay, Benihana full review. I'm going to try to keep this one shorter because this is going to be mostly a negative review, and I think in this day and age, we don't want to sit with negativity for too long. You know, let's try to keep things positive. To that end, there's not much I can do that's positive with this review. I'm just going to start out and explain that this is a higher standard than a typical hibachi, and that's for two reasons. That's for the name, the reputation, of course, that's one. Second reason is price. You know, when I was at Colgate, there was a place called Red Samurai. It was in upstate New York. It was in Utica, probably about $50 a head. Red Samurai, you know, was still great, but Benihana is probably double the cost, maybe closer to $100 per head. And I was not excited. It wasn't bad per se. It just was like on the lower end of hibachi. Like the portion sizes were small relative to the cost. The flavor was honestly slightly lacking. I don't know if that's a preference thing. I just feel like hibachi, you're just overloaded with sweetness, saltiness, spicy, maybe depending on what you order. And this honestly just like nothing had as much like saturation as what I would have expected. And the yum yum sauce personally was not my favorite. In addition, they upcharge you for fried rice. I think the original Mr. Benihana never would have done that. I think that's like an essential part of the Benihana meal or the hibachi meal. Fried rice is the meal. To upcharge it implies like a lack of confidence in the core offering. And I think it's something they probably did to, you know, squeeze tighter margins in this, you know, recent era, which is just frustrating from a consumer standpoint. And then they also forgot my steak, which I was a bit surprised by. I've never seen that happen at a hibachi place. I ordered the Rockies combo, which was the chicken and steak, and then of course upcharged fried rice. Already my entree, that's about $70. Tax, tip, Diet Coke, that for me is probably $100. It was 5 of us, and it was a check of $450. So they forgot my steak, and then he does cook it, and I normally never complain where like a steak is too rare, but I actually said to Jenny, is this steak even cooked enough? Like it was kind of rare. Hibachi steak for me is not supposed to be rare. And then there was a bit of a wait time, and the most important thing was the ambiance. So, you know, Benihana, Manhattan, you expect it to be like grand. This place like looked worse than the place I went to in Utica. It was cramped. It was like you're in like the fan room of a fucking steam engine. We actually left and took our dessert to go. And then at the very end, to cap it all off, and we're already exceeding 2 minutes on this interview of myself, the guy, the hibachi chef, he like gives us a QR code, and he's like, oh, give me a 5-star review. And I'm like, will do. And he's like, did you do it? And I'm like, and then the girl next to me, she's like, we're still eating. I'm like, what is going on, bro? Like, this dude is trying to solicit 5-star reviews for me when he doesn't even deserve it, and I'm still, like, eating. I would not recommend going here. I would find a cheaper hibachi place that's not Benihana. Again, the service was overall good. Like, it's a packed restaurant. Saturday night, I understand that there are constraints, but if you're going to be charging that high of an amount, I think the service should be reflective, and the food should be reflective most of all. So, with that, my thoughts have concluded. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy. I wasn't overdressed for this occasion. In fact, I was probably. I was underdressed. Nope. Nothing was like cooked that well. The dude. All right, so I actually just left the table early because.